Hello, everybody. Corey Schrader, Black Creek Wealth Management. Happy Wednesday to everyone. It is March 1st, and it's time to start seeing some spring here in Florida. We had our 2 weeks of winter, and I'm not sure about the rest of y'all, but I'm ready to hit some beach weather and start talking about some spring break fun stuff and where we're going. We're actually heading to the Great Wolf Lodge for the kids' spring break, so that should be fun. And those who are aware, we're going to the Georgia one. So I guess there's multiples from what I've come to find out. So wanted to have a little bit of fun with our conversation here today. If you could get from the title, yeah, really, I get asked this question so much: to Roth or not to Roth? That is the question, right? For all my Shakespeare lovely people. The answer is who knows? Maybe. It really just does depend on a person's situation. What I want to talk about today is some things that you need to be aware of when you're starting to look at Roths, because Roths have absolutely become a hot topic, especially in your 401k plans. So you need to know, okay, if I do a Roth versus a traditional or just pre-tax 401k, how does that benefit me? What do I need to know? As well as for those people who are in at or near retirement, what do we do? What do we do with the Roth account? Is it time to do a conversion? Is it time to still do non-deductible contributions? Like, Corey, what do you think? Like, taxes aren't going away anytime soon. And last time I checked, the deficit wasn't really in the place we all wanted it to be here nationally, printing money like it's going out of style. So, of course, they got to pay for it somehow. And how do they do that? Well, they got to charge us a little bit more in taxes, right? So, those are some of the things that I really wanted to just kind of talk about and really just dig into this Roth question. And it really does have a bearing when it comes to maybes, but I do want to give you a little bit of some things to think about. And of course, if you're ever looking for someone to sit down and talk to you about it, consult you about it, please let me know. I'll send you a quick link to set up some time. Of course, no charge to do so. The biggest thing I look at is when it comes to Roths, or really anything when it comes to investing in taxation or anything these politicians can do to us, is know that the rules can change. So if you're young, that's who really I'm talking to. Eventually all this is going to come home to roost, the spending that we've been doing and the printing. And the biggest thing that you got to know is that you try to make the best decision you can with the available information today and the rules of the game today. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm pretty sure taxes are not going to be lower in the future. I would have to assume they're probably going to be higher. So, given that, one of the main things and one of the big ideas you can take out of it is as well, if I know taxes are going to be higher in the future, why don't I pay lower taxes today? Enter the Roth. For those that aren't aware, in your 401k, let's say you're working for a business and they have a 401k option, which is after tax, or excuse me, they have a 401k option, which you should definitely do. Of course, do all company match. Do not miss out on that free money. But let's say you can do a Roth option. And the Roth option is after tax money. Your pre-tax is going to be what's known as a traditional 401k. Okay. So with that, the traditional 401k is going to go in before they start taking out any sort of taxes. So, if you're self-employed, that's a whole nother conversation. But if you have and you're working for an employer, they're going to take out certain, Medicare taxes, Social Security taxes. Well, that 401k, that traditional 401k, is going to allow you to take money out before they hit you for taxes. Okay, and that's the reason. Not to go on a tangent, that's the reason why you pay taxes when you take money out of it when you retire, is because you're not paying taxes on it today. You'll pay it in the future. You're going to defer that money until the future, where you're going to pay taxes. And again, if you believe like I do that you're going to probably pay higher taxes, okay, well, now there comes this Roth option where I can actually pay taxes today. And that Roth option is going to allow me to grow that money tax-free until I take it out in the future, where I won't owe any money on it when I take the money out. Now, the key thing, again, remember, is that's the rules today. Lord knows they're trying to go after this money, both sides, not just Republicans or Democrats. It's both sides. Both of them want the money. So they're going to probably try to figure out how to get that money down the road. But as of right now, taxes are going to be higher in the future. But here's the caveat. Okay. And this is why I tell everyone maybe, 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 maybe. Okay. It all comes down to how are you going to generate income in the future? And this is a little bit of an exercise you got to back into, because here's the crazy thing. So let's say you're in the 22% tax bracket today. You know what a retiree is? Usually around 10, 12%, depending on where their income is coming from. And this is what I help people with, is this not how do you avoid paying taxes, but how do you just structure your assets and in your investments correctly, so that way in the future, you're already ahead of the game. And here's where I'm going with this. Because if you're in the 22% tax bracket, let's say you're making 100 grand a year, right? You're making 22%. Okay. You're going to pay 22% taxes marginally on your money. Well, in retirement, if you're not going to have that level of income, your income tax bracket will probably be lower. Even if they raise rates in, let's say it goes up to 22, it's even break even, right? So what benefit does a Roth really give you? It really doesn't, because ultimately you're going to pay the taxes today, which means lower money goes in, which means it needs to grow, versus having pre-tax money that's going to grow and they'll eventually equal out. There's an equation. Spent plenty of time learning these equations doing my CFA. And there's an equation that you run to see if it makes sense. And that's what I tell everybody. So if you're going to, if you're a high net worth person and you're in the 4% tax bracket, you got Medicare issues, surtaxes, things like that. Yeah, it definitely makes some level of sense in the Roth account, unless you structure things so that you have basically no income, which you can do. You need to watch out for certain other things that I'm not going to get into. But you can structure it if you're in that higher tax bracket. Definitely need to look at that. But if you're in a lower tax bracket and you foresee your income in the future being relatively the same, if not lower, well, that's really where the rub comes in, because you're going to end up paying taxes now versus later. And you may pay taxes now that you don't even need to worry about. So that's one of the biggest calculations you got to look at. So again, it depends, but you can look at it. You can run the mental analysis. You can do planning around it that will help you figure that out. Now, the biggest question is okay, Corey, I'm retired now. All right. It's a Roth account. If I take money out of this thing, am I going to be taxed? Number one, the answer is no, you won't be. Again, you have to be over 59 and a half to not have the early withdrawal penalty. And there's a little bit of some caveat and rules that you got to look at, but let's assume that you're over 59 and a half. So no penalty. You can take the money out. If you've held the Roth for over 5 years, any earnings that you take out is now, tax-free. So any contributions that you've put in, regardless, are going to be tax-free because you've already paid taxes on it. Okay. But really, with all that income, does it affect my Social Security income that I'm going to get? Here's the beautiful thing. If you are in Social Security income land and you're already taking money out, your Roth distribution will not count towards income. Okay. This is a Roth money, not traditional. Roth money will not count towards income. What you got to watch out for is what's going on right now. And this is where you got to consult a CPA and really just do some higher level planning. If you're out there doing conversions mean you're moving money from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA. Why would you do that? Well, I don't want to have to do RMDs in the future. I can start purging my account now, so that way I'm not forced to take money out in the future. Again, I want to get back to tax-free growth. Or the biggest thing, that reason why I talk to people about this is, hey, I want to leave a legacy behind. I want my money to grow tax-free for the next generation. Well, in order for it to grow tax-free, somebody's got to pay that tax bill, right? Who's going to pay the tax bill? Do a conversion today. You'll be able to grow that money with compound growth, the eighth wonder of the world, and allow you to grow that free income. But someone's got to pay for the taxes. So either they pay it in the future or they pay it now. So a lot of people look at conversions as a way of wealth transfer, where I can pay the taxes today and that money will grow. And then when the next person inherits it, they get that tax-free income. Okay. So there's a benefit behind doing it. But the thing is if you're doing Roth conversions, and I do this as a strategy with income investors, especially near or at retirement. So I have traditional traditional asset allocation strategies that I run, but I also run hedge fund strategies. And one of the things that I encourage people to look at is, if you're looking to generate income, yeah, one of the hedge fund strategies last year generated about 8%. If you recall, the market was down 18. So we were able to take out from a Roth account tax-free income to basically pay income and not increase any sort of taxes or issues or benefits, right? So there's a lot of benefit if you can get relatively good growth or income to be able to take it out tax-free. Well, some people don't have Roth accounts, so we have to do conversions. Well, sometimes it makes sense to do conversions and pay an early withdrawal penalty of 10% on that, because your taxes, if you would have generated the income, you'd be in the 22 or 24% tax bracket. Just taking it out of a regular IRA account. So you're basically saving 14% taxes, okay? Roughly, there's an effective rate, but marginally you're saving about 14% by doing that conversion, still paying the early withdrawal penalty and getting that high level of income that's now tax-free. So when you do a conversion, and this is for anyone who's out there, if you're on Medicare, you got to be careful of this nasty little bug that they call, here it is. They call income-related monthly adjustment amount. And this is not well known. Okay. So, and I'm going to put this out there. I'll probably be kicked in the teeth for saying this, but this is why you deal with people who are experienced and well-educated. Okay. I highly encourage you, talk to a CFP that's been actually planning for 5 to 10 years, that have experienced this. Because if you got people telling you to do conversions and they're just not getting deep in the weeds with you on what things you need to watch out for, you may punish yourself pretty badly with this. Okay. So what this income related monthly adjustment amount is let's say you have Medicare Parts B and D, that's Boy and David. They have a regular premium that everyone pays. Well, Medicare does this wonderful thing where they adjust the premium upward based off of your MAGI, not your AGI, your modified adjusted gross income. So it brings in muni income, brings in all these other things like conversions, Roth conversions. Okay. So let's say you were currently at 91,000 or 182,000 for a married couple. Well, now you just did a Roth conversion for $30,000 that just bumped you up. Well, you're going to get a nice little letter from the IRS saying, welcome to the world of income-related monthly adjustment amount, or IRMA. And what they're going to do is they're going to increase your premium pretty substantial. And so, and again, this is all based off of how much it got raised up into, okay? You could basically see your premium jump relatively strong. And again, it all depends on where your income lies out. Now, here's the kicker. So let's say, I don't like this, but I'm going to use it as a wealth transfer mechanism, right? And you say, you know what? And I got a client who's doing this. He's like, you know what? I've already taken a hit this year. IRMA's going to adjust in about a year or two because my income's going to drop back down. So he's basically looking at it, Corey, let's knock out some conversions this year. Let's raise it up. So that way, for at least the next year or two, I'm going to have these premiums, but in 2 years, it's gone. It's in the background, but I've already done all this conversion. And now we're generating this really good income source on this after-tax money that I can take out that's not going to affect anything moving forward. So again, these are the types of strategies. If you want to play with the big boys, this is the stuff you need to know, and you need to work with people who know how to do this, okay? So again, like I said, to Roth or not to Roth is really the question, but it's a question about planning. It's a question about what is it? How can I use this mechanism to get more of what I want, meaning tax-free income, wealth transfer, and basically tell these politicians at some point, like, stop touching my money. And they've already adjusted this, everybody. If you weren't aware, Roths, there used to be something called a stretch IRA. You can't do that anymore, where your next generation would essentially be able to extend their IRAs that they inherited from their parents into the next generation. They were able to extend it over their life expectancy. They've cut that off. Now, and this happened right around COVID, is they've brought it where now you have to dissolve it within a certain time period. This is Roth accounts now. You didn't have that problem. Now they've done it. So they've now put a time restraint on it to where now these Roth money has to be kicked out. So, like I said, just like the monopoly that I always relate back to, if you know the rules of the game, you can take advantage of it. And I am here to ensure that you guys know the rules of the game and that you have a consultant like me. If you have these questions or you need someone to bounce these ideas off of, don't hesitate. Give me a call. Go to my website. Book some time with me. Send me an email. Do not miss out on this because, and I was sitting with one of my good friends yesterday and we were talking about this and he was like, when it comes to Medicare and it comes to trust, and I'm actually going to have this seminar here in April that talks around how do you remove assets from your name to basically get away from this Medicare issue of going bankrupt because of medical needs. Like you can build trusts and things that help this. And I'm going to have a seminar with an attorney here that does this here in Jacksonville. But the point is like, I want you guys to know all this stuff. Now, how you use it is up to you. How you dig into it with other people or get help around it, that's really up to you. But if at least you know what's in the future and you can figure it out today, I'm giving you things that I didn't know when I was younger. And I wish I would have known 10 years sooner. So like I said, feel free to send me stuff. Let me know what you're thinking. I got to tell you, it's 80 degrees in Florida. Kind of missed the winter. It's only March 1st. But as I always say, if no one has told you that they care about you, please know that I do and that I'm here for you. If there's anything you have, investment, financially related, financial planning related, please do not hesitate. Reach out. I am here to serve. Again, if you choose to work with me, there may be some ancillary costs. Maybe there won't be. Who knows? It just depends on the level of need and care that you want. But if you're looking for a one-on-one, I'm here for you. But again, have a blessed day. Thanks for tuning in. Corey Schrader, Black Creek Wealth Management.